The Warden is a hostile mob located in the deep dark. It performs both melee and ranged attacks. Wardens are completely blind, relying on vibrations and their sense of smell to identify moving enemies. They also deal the highest non-explosive damage of any mob in the game. But what do we know about this mysterious future mob? That's what we're exploring today. Let's do it. I won't go over specific differences here because I mentioned it throughout the various other numbers, but just the concept that the Warden won't be the exact same across versions is very, very concerning. What the hell? He does different damage in both versions. In Java, he's the strongest mob in the game, but in Bedrock, he isn't. The idea that we're not dealing with exactly the same thing is pretty freaking worrying, especially because when we watch videos of other people handling the Warden, we have to take into account which version of the game that they're playing on. Because on the off chance that there are slightly different mechanics for the different versions, we don't want to get screwed over. I hate things like this. Why are things different? Why? It's stupid. Fix Bedrock Edition, because Java Edition's fine. In at 9, advancements. There are no advancements associated with killing the Warden. The Warden is intended to be a natural disaster of sorts that is almost impossible to kill and best avoided. Therefore, killing a Warden won't count towards the Monster Hunter achievement, nor is it included in the Monsters Hunted advancement. Although, there is an advancement that has something to do with the Warden that just brings me so much genuine joy. This is the one thing that once added will truly bring me happiness. This is what I needed in my life. Called Sneak 100, the objective of this goal is to sneak near a skulk sensor or a Warden to prevent it from detecting you, and that's absolutely amazing. You have no idea how happy I am that my two favorite games, Skyrim and Minecraft, are finally getting some form of reference between them when Skyrim already had the notched pickaxe. Minecraft is finally returning the favor. I will be getting that advancement so damn fast once I can. In at 8, hitbox. The Warden's hitbox can fit inside a corridor 1 block wide and 3 blocks tall. This allows them to chase foes, pathfinding precisely even in small cave corridors. Wardens are also immune to knockback and damage to fire and lava, so can you imagine how terrifying that would be? You think you made it out safe, then all of a sudden the seemingly 3 block wide Warden is fitting in 1 block wide spaces as if they're Huggy Wuggy from Poppy Playtime. The dude is massive but somehow will disobey the laws of physics and come after you as much as it can. That's absolutely terrifying. At least he's 3 blocks tall. Though, if he was 2, we would all be screwed, because this man would follow us till the ends of the earth, like symbiote Spider-Man calling out to Shocker in the 90s Spider-Man cartoon. Get back here, Shocker! I'll follow you to the ends of the earth! Such a funny scene. The overacting. And at 7, drops. Wardens drop 1 Skulk Catalyst upon death. They also drop 5 experience if killed by a player or tamed wolf. Although Wardens are not meant to be killed, instead they're meant to be things that you want to avoid. So it's entirely possible that the Warden drops nothing upon death, or that I guess it will end up dropping nothing when the update comes out. Much along the lines of baby animals. So it's expected that you try and avoid the monsters by throwing snowballs or shooting a bow or even having a minecart going around in circles. These are all tactics that were added into the game for a reason, so use them to your advantage and don't let a Warden be the end of your hardcore world. Oh man, I'm gonna do some stupid things when this mob comes out, I'll tell you that much. Oh man, I want one as a pet. And at 6, habitat. Wardens are found deep underground in deep dark caves, located at the deepest depths of the world where Skulk can be found. The idea around it is that it's very dark, so it's easier for the Warden to sneak up on the player. Though the depths of deep dark caves are unknown, it's confirmed to be the lowest point of the Minecraft overworld, just above bedrock. There are also ancient cities that will also be a structure spawning in the deep dark, typically in extreme hills or mountain biomes, featuring a large palace that stretches throughout a deep dark biome. The palace is made up of long corridors with some rugs made of blue, light blue, and cyan wool, or carpet floors to prevent vibrations, as well as some smaller ruins off to the side of the main corridors, which contain between 1 to 2 loot chests. The city has statues at the center that feature a frame resembling the Warden's head, and there are reinforced deep slate blocks, which is an unobtainable material in survival mode, although it can be pushed with pistons. It's also very difficult to break. It takes 80 seconds with a netherite pickaxe. Other unique blocks such as soul lanterns and candles will also be found here, and different forms of deep slate and skulk as well. Halfway through into number 5, Behaviour. Wardens are blind and wander randomly, even through rails. Once a nearby vibration agitates a warden, it will move towards its location where the vibration originated. It can also smell the area around it, allowing it to zero in on an entity's location. The more vibrations a mob or player makes, the more agitated it grows. The soul cage on its chest creates a low throbbing heartbeat sound in tandem with the darkness effect, which is horrifying. The animation and sound speeds up gradually as the warden becomes more agitated. A warden prefers to track down mobs that it finds most suspicious rather than the closest one. Wardens will also attack any mob that touches it or attacks it. If a warden is directly hurt by a mob or indirectly hurt by a mob within 5 blocks, the warden will add 100 anger towards that mob. If a mob comes into contact with a warden, then the warden will add 35 anger towards it. So it is possible to use the warden in a mob farm if you can work out how to do it. But again, maybe not the best idea. In at 4, Bias. Once the warden reaches 80 anger with a target, it roars and starts to pursue it. In this altered state, the warden pathfinds to the target normally regardless of vibrations made. If a mob or player collides with a warden or attacks it first, the warden immediately enters its angry state. However, the wardens have an inherent bias towards player vibrations, attacks, and contact. Even if already enraged at another mob, players can overwrite this by being targeted themselves. This is not true for any other mob. Apart from players, a warden tracks down and attacks all other mobs, excluding other wardens. The warden can also follow vibrations made by non-mob entities such as projectiles or minecarts, but luckily, after 60 seconds of being calm and not detecting any vibrations, the warden will burrow back into the ground and despawn. The warden is also completely invulnerable while emerging and burrowing. Getting close to the end in number 3, Power. It's about drive, it's about power, we stay hungry, we devour! It's definitely about drive and power with this giant mother hubber, okay? The warden's melee attack disables shields for 5 seconds, and if the target is still on its search radius and on high ground or hiding behind walls, a warden can change to a powerful sonic boom. This guided attack can pass through blocks up to like 50 blocks or something like crazy like that, and it's visible with the formation of green bluish particles that are quickly projected out of the warden's chest. It deals 10 damage or 5 hearts on every mode in Java Edition, or 3 hearts on AZ, 5 on normal, or 7.5 on hard in Bedrock Edition. This attack also, on top of all that, bypasses shields and armor, and even wither armor for the wither. Only the protection, enchantment, and resistance effect applied by a beacon can reduce this attack's damage. Wow. Hell no. But ultimately, in at number 2, Summoning. Wardens do not use traditional mob spawning mechanics when a player activates a naturally generated Skulk Shrieker. After doing so 3 times, and if there isn't another warden within 48 blocks, and the light level of the area is lower than 0, a warden emerges from the ground. Up to 20 attempts are made to spawn a warden within a 11 by 13 by 11 box centered on the Shrieker. The warden count for Skulk Shriekers is specific to each player, not each Skulk Shrieker. This means that the same player can activate 3 different Shriekers just once, and a warden will spawn on the 3rd activation, whether the final Shrieker was activated previously or had been activated before or not. Finally, in at number 1, Health. The warden has a total of 500 health. This equates to a total of 250 hearts in game. It was designed to be an overwhelming force of nature, too resilient to kill before its massive damage output kills the player. Mojang wanted the warden to be feared, and its massive health pool was a great start. And while this is formidable in Java Edition, since the warden is the strongest mob in that game for us, the warden still falls 100 health short of the wither in Bedrock Edition, making it the heaviest hitter, but not the strongest one on the hearts front, which is certainly interesting and doesn't really make a lot of sense, but that's mostly because of the Wither and Microsoft for changing things in Bedrock Edition, not on the Warden. That's all the time we have for today, friends. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been in Shaw, remain Connor Monroe, and I'll see you in another video.